Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, when did time start moving so fast? One day you're chasing after grandkids or tending to the garden, feeling like you can take on the world. And the next, you notice a few more aches in the morning, a little less spring in your step. It sneaks up on all of us, doesn't it? But here's the beautiful truth. Getting older doesn't mean giving up your energy, your confidence, or your sense of adventure. In fact, aging gracefully and confidently is not just possible. It's something you deserve to experience every single day. Today we're going to talk about exactly that. About how you can embrace every year with pride, stay vibrant, and keep that spark alive, inside and out. No matter what your birth certificate says, your spirit doesn't have an expiration date. And the good news is there are simple, real changes you can make that will help you feel better, move easier, and smile wider, even as the candles on your birthday cake start to multiply. In this video, we'll explore practical habits and heartfelt advice to help you feel stronger, more alive, and more connected to the world around you. These aren't complicated routines or impossible goals. They're gentle shifts that can bring more light into your life, and maybe even help you rediscover pieces of yourself you thought were long gone. Let's start with something that might sound simple but is often overlooked. Taking care of your mind just as much as you take care of your body. It's easy to focus on sore knees or stiff joints, but what about your inner world? Your thoughts, your dreams, your passions? Staying mentally active isn't just a way to fight off forgetfulness. It's a way to feel more alive. Think about the last time you learned something new. Maybe it was picking up a few words in a different language, or trying a new recipe you saw on TV. Remember that feeling? That little jolt of excitement, that spark of, hey, I can still do this? That feeling is your brain's way of thanking you. Learning doesn't have to stop just because we've celebrated a few more birthdays. In fact, learning shouldn't stop. It's what keeps life interesting, fresh, and joyful. A great way to start is to pick something you've always been curious about. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's playing a musical instrument. Maybe it's finally writing down those incredible stories you've lived through. You don't have to become a master overnight. Just exploring something new, even a little at a time, gives your brain a workout in the best possible way. It keeps you engaged with the world, and it reminds you that you are still growing, still evolving, still becoming. Now, alongside keeping your mind sharp, there's another simple but powerful way to age with grace and confidence. Moving your body in ways that feel good. Notice I didn't say you need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. No, it's about finding movement that feels joyful, not painful. It's about listening to your body and giving it what it craves. A little stretch, a little strength, a little freedom. Maybe it's a morning walk around the block, waving at neighbors and feeling the sunshine on your face. Maybe it's dancing in your living room to your favorite song from the 60s. Maybe it's gentle yoga or Tai Chi, where every movement feels like a breath of fresh air. The trick isn't in how far you go or how fast you move. It's in making movement a part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth or brewing your coffee. Movement reminds you that your body, no matter what stage it's in, is a miracle. It carries you through your days, helps you hug your loved ones, lets you explore the world. Treat it with love. Thank it by moving it, stretching it, using it. You'll be amazed at how much lighter your spirit feels when you do. And speaking of spirit, there's something else that's deeply connected to aging gracefully: surrounding yourself with positivity. Now, I don't just mean having a sunny attitude all the time. Life doesn't work like that, and nobody expects you to be happy every second. What I mean is choosing, whenever you can, to let more light into your life. It might be through the people you spend time with, the places you go, or even the thoughts you allow to stay in your heart. We all know people who seem to radiate negativity, who are quick to complain, criticize, or bring others down. Over time, being around that energy can feel like carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders. But when you surround yourself with people who lift you up, who laugh easily, listen kindly, and encourage you to be your best, something magical happens. You start to shine a little brighter too. It's never too late to find new friends, to reconnect with old ones, or to be your own best source of encouragement. And if you find yourself spending more time alone these days, that's okay too. You can bring positivity into your life through books, music, movies, even a simple daily practice of gratitude. Every morning, before you even get out of bed, think of one thing you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's your morning cup of tea, or the sound of birds outside your window, or a call from a grandchild. Gratitude shifts your heart's focus from what's missing to what's wonderful. Now that we've talked about nurturing your mind, moving your body joyfully, and surrounding yourself with positivity, let's keep the momentum going. Because once that momentum builds, something special starts to happen. You begin to feel more like you again. And part of that feeling comes from paying attention to the little choices you make each day, especially when it comes to how you nourish your body. Now, don't worry, This isn't going to be a lecture about cutting out everything you love. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's about understanding that food is not just fuel, but also joy, comfort, and even medicine. As we age, our bodies start to change how they digest and absorb nutrients. That means the food that once gave you energy might now leave you feeling sluggish. Or you might notice your digestion isn't quite what it used to be. But instead of throwing your hands up in frustration, think of this as an invitation. An invitation to tune in and respond with kindness. Start by asking yourself, how do I feel after I eat? If you feel heavy, bloated, or tired, maybe it's time to make a few gentle swaps. Fresh fruits, colorful vegetables, whole grains, and plenty of water can do wonders for your energy and your mood. And here's the lovely part, you don't need to give up your favorite dishes. Just find ways to add a bit more goodness to them. Add berries to your breakfast, swap white bread for whole grain, or sip water throughout the day like it's the best kept secret to youth, because it kind of is. And let's talk about something people don't always connect to aging confidently. Protein. Yes, protein. It's not just for bodybuilders. As we grow older, we naturally start to lose muscle mass, which can affect balance, strength, and how steady we feel on our feet. Including healthy proteins in your meals like eggs, beans, fish, or even a scoop of Greek yogurt can help keep those muscles strong and your body feeling supported. But food isn't just about nutrients. It's also about connection. Some of the most cherished moments in life happen around the table, sharing stories, laughter, and love. So whenever you can, make meals a social experience. Invite a friend over, cook together with a grandchild, or sit down and savor your food without distractions. You'll be feeding your soul as much as your body. Now, while we're on the subject of connection, let's talk about something deeply human, the need to feel seen, heard, and valued. As we get older, it's easy to feel like the world is moving on without us. Maybe your kids are busy with their own families, or friends you used to see often have drifted away. That sense of loneliness can creep in quietly and it can be heavy. But here's what I want you to remember, you matter. Your presence, your stories, your wisdom, they matter more than you may realize. And sometimes all it takes is one small action to remind yourself of that. Maybe it's picking up the phone and calling someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe it's joining a local group, whether it's a walking club, a book circle, or even a gardening community. Or maybe it's volunteering your time, sharing your skills, listening ear, or just your company with someone who needs it. Even a small chat at the grocery store or a warm hello to a neighbor can spark something. These little moments of human connection are like lifelines. They ground us, lift us, and remind us that we're not alone. You'd be surprised how many people are waiting for someone just like you to say, "Hi, how's your day going?" And if you're someone who enjoys solitude, that's beautiful too. But even in solitude, there's space for connection. With nature, with creativity, or even with yourself. Take time to write in a journal. Sit outside and feel the wind on your face. Let the sun warm your skin. These quiet moments, when you're truly present, can be just as powerful as a room full of people. That brings me to something we often push aside but plays a huge role in how confidently we age. The stories we tell ourselves. If you wake up every day and think, "I'm too old for this," or "It's too late for me," then of course your spirit will start to dim. But imagine if you woke up and said, "Today, I'm going to try something new." Or even just, "I'm grateful I get another day to live, love, and grow." You see, your mindset becomes your reality. And your words, even the quiet ones you whisper only to yourself, carry power. Start speaking to yourself the way you would speak to someone you deeply love. Be gentle. Be encouraging. Give yourself credit for all the roads you've walked, the storms you've weathered, and the joy you've brought to others. No matter what anyone else says, aging is not a decline, it's a deepening. A time when you have nothing to prove and everything to enjoy. When you can let go of old expectations and choose joy, confidence, and grace in whatever form they take. And if you've made it this far, I want you to take a deep breath and smile, because you're already doing something beautiful. You're showing up for yourself. You're choosing to learn, to reflect, and to embrace this chapter of your life with open arms. Let's keep this going. Because the beautiful thing about showing up for yourself is that it creates a ripple effect. Every time you choose kindness toward yourself, every time you celebrate a small victory or forgive a small setback, you're building a stronger, more joyful foundation for everything else in your life. And one of the most powerful ways to keep strengthening that foundation is through movement. Yes, good old-fashioned moving your body. Now, before you think I'm about to suggest running marathons or doing cartwheels, let me stop you right there. I'm talking about simple, enjoyable movement that fits your life, your body, and your spirit. Movement that feels more like a gift than a chore. You see, movement isn't just about staying in shape. It's about keeping your body flexible, your joints happy, your heart strong, and even your mind sharp. When you move, you send a message to yourself that you are alive, capable, and still writing your story. It could be as easy as taking a stroll around your neighborhood and noticing the flowers blooming. It could be stretching gently each morning while your coffee brews. Maybe it's dancing a little to your favorite song in the kitchen, swaying your hips and laughing like no one's watching. Because honestly, that kind of movement is magic. The key is to find what you enjoy. Some people love yoga or Tai Chi because they're gentle and graceful, almost like moving meditation. Others find joy in gardening, tending to flowers or vegetables and getting a little dirt under their fingernails. Even simple exercises like lifting light weights or practicing standing on one foot while brushing your teeth can build strength and balance over time. And those small improvements can make a huge difference in your daily confidence. And it's not just your muscles that benefit, your mind gets a boost too. Moving your body releases those feel-good chemicals that lift your mood, ease anxiety, and help you sleep better at night. It's like nature's best medicine, and the best part? There are no complicated instructions or prescriptions needed. Just move a little each day in a way that brings a smile to your face. Speaking of smiles, there's something else that plays a surprising role in aging gracefully: staying curious. You might think curiosity is something we leave behind in childhood, but honestly, it's one of the secrets to feeling alive at any age. When you stay curious, the world stays fresh, exciting, and full of possibilities. Maybe there's a hobby you've always wanted to try but never had the time. Painting, learning a musical instrument, speaking another language, or even just reading about something completely new. Now is the perfect time. You don't have to master it or turn it into a big project. Just explore. Play. Follow your interests without judgment or pressure. Imagine what it would feel like to wake up and think, I wonder what new thing I'll discover today. That mindset doesn't just keep your brain active. It fills your days with a sense of purpose and adventure. Curiosity can also mean staying open to new relationships and new experiences. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of doing things the same way every day, seeing the same people, going to the same places. But sometimes, simply choosing a different walking route, saying yes to a new invitation, or starting a conversation with someone new can open doors you didn't even know were there. And while we're talking about staying open, let's take a moment to talk about forgiveness. Not the big, heavy kind that takes years of healing, though that's important too. I'm talking about everyday forgiveness. The kind you offer yourself when you forget a name, when your knees creak getting out of bed, when you can't do things quite as quickly as you once did. It's so easy to get frustrated with yourself, to feel embarrassed, to compare yourself to the person you used to be. But what if you shifted that perspective just a little? Instead of seeing those moments as signs of loss, what if you saw them as signs of all the living you've done? Your body has carried you through a lifetime of experiences: joy, heartbreak, work, laughter, love. It's earned every wrinkle, every gray hair, every creaky joint. They are badges of a life lived. So when those moments of frustration come, and they will, take a breath. Offer yourself the kind of kindness you would give a dear friend. Smile at the little slips and stumbles. They are proof that you are still here, still moving forward, still growing. And isn't that what aging gracefully is all about? It's not about pretending time isn't passing. It's about embracing the passage of time with love, humor, and confidence. It's about seeing yourself not as a faded version of your younger self, but as a fuller, richer, wiser version. You have a lifetime of memories tucked into your heart, a mind filled with lessons, a soul seasoned by experience. That's not something to hide or diminish. That's something to celebrate. And even more beautiful is the truth that your story isn't over yet. Every day is a fresh page, a new chance to live with intention, with love, with adventure. Every day is a new opportunity to care for yourself, to connect, to move, to laugh, to forgive, and to dream. So let's keep turning those pages together. Because when you see each day as a fresh page, it changes how you show up in the world. It helps you walk a little taller, smile a little wider, and embrace life not with fear, but with gratitude. And that's where one more important piece comes in: connection. You see, as we get older, the world sometimes gets quieter. Friends move away. Families get busy. The phone doesn't ring quite as often. And while there's peace in solitude, we're not meant to live in isolation. We are wired for connection, for meaningful conversations, shared laughter, quiet companionship, and even the occasional silly debate over something like how to make the perfect cup of tea. True connection doesn't have to mean a packed social calendar or throwing yourself into every event on the community board. It starts small. It could be reaching out to an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while. It might be saying hello to your neighbor more often, striking up a conversation with someone in the grocery store line, or attending a local club or workshop. Not because you need more to do, but because you deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued. Even something as simple as writing letters or sending voice messages can bring someone joy, and in turn lift your own spirit. Connection is a two-way street after all. When you open yourself to others, you invite warmth and light into your own life. It doesn't matter if you're introverted or extroverted. What matters is knowing that you don't have to walk this journey alone. And while connection to others is essential, so is connection to yourself, especially when it comes to your inner dialogue. We all have that little voice in our heads. Sometimes it cheers us on. Sometimes, though, it gets stuck in the past, repeating things we wish we'd done differently or worrying about what comes next. But here's the gentle truth. That voice is not always right. It's just familiar. And if you've spent years putting others first, it might take time to turn the volume up on the voice that says, "You matter. You've done enough. You are enough." That's why cultivating self-respect and self-compassion is such a powerful part of aging confidently. When you treat yourself with the same kindness you offer others, you create an inner world that feels safe and strong. You're no longer looking for approval from the outside, because you already have it from within. So when you wake up and notice a new wrinkle, instead of frowning, maybe try smiling at it. Let it remind you of all the times you laughed, all the tears you survived, all the wisdom you've earned. When you feel uncertain about trying something new, remind yourself that your courage doesn't come from age. It comes from your willingness to keep going, keep learning, keep living. Confidence at this stage of life isn't loud or flashy. It's not about having all the answers. It's a quiet, steady knowing that you've made it this far, and that you're still becoming. That you're allowed to evolve, to change your mind, to surprise yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. You get to define what your life looks like now, on your terms. And when you do that, when you live from that place of self-assurance and peace, it radiates outward. People notice. They might not be able to name it, but they feel it. There's something magnetic about a person who is content in their own skin, who carries themselves with grace, not because they're trying to impress, but because they're simply being true to themselves. That's what aging gracefully really means. It's not about chasing youth. It's about choosing presence, choosing joy, choosing the things that nourish your body, your heart, your spirit. Maybe it's morning sunlight on your face, the sound of birdsong outside your window, a warm cup of tea, a soft scarf that feels like a hug, a favorite song that makes you sing along even if you're a little off-key. These tiny moments are the real treasures. They add up. They anchor you. And when life throws a challenge your way, as it sometimes will, these are the moments you can return to. They remind you of your strength, of the life you've built, of the beauty that still surrounds you. So give yourself permission to slow down when you need to say no to things that drain you, and yes to things that light you up. Give yourself permission to rest without guilt, to laugh without restraint, to grieve when necessary, and to hope, always to hope. You are not over the hill. You are standing at a beautiful peak, with a breathtaking view behind you and an open path still ahead. You are not fading. You are ripening, deepening, blooming in ways you never imagined when you were younger. This stage of life isn't the end of the book. It's one of the richest chapters. And you, my friend, are the author. You get to decide how it reads. You get to shape each page with intention, with honesty, with love. So go ahead, take up space. Use your voice. Wear the outfit that makes you feel bold. Try the thing you've been putting off. Love a little deeper. Laugh a little louder. And always walk with the knowing that your presence in this world still matters. Because the way you carry yourself, with grace, with quiet strength, with kindness in your eyes, leaves a mark that doesn't fade. People may not always remember what you said, but they'll remember how they felt in your presence. And that feeling, that legacy of warmth, courage, and dignity, is something that outlives every wrinkle, every gray hair, every step that might be a little slower than before. There's something truly powerful in realizing that you are still growing, still shaping the story of your life even now. This chapter is just as important as all the ones that came before. And the choices you make today, the way you treat yourself, the way you show up in the world, those are all part of that story. You don't need to do something grand to age gracefully. You don't need to climb a mountain or run a marathon or suddenly change everything about your routine. Most of the time, it's the smallest shifts that make the biggest difference. Choosing joy in the morning. Drinking a little more water. Moving your body in a way that feels good. Talking gently to yourself. Letting go of guilt you've carried for too long. That's real growth. That's real strength. Now, I want to talk for a moment about purpose. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but at its heart, it simply means waking up with something, anything, to look forward to. It could be your garden, your morning walk, your crafts, your pets, your faith, or even your favorite radio show. Purpose doesn't have to be world-changing. It just has to matter to you. Some people find new purpose later in life. They volunteer, mentor, or share their stories. Others rediscover something they loved when they were younger, painting, music, baking, teaching, writing letters by hand. Whatever sparks a light inside you, that's your purpose showing up and whispering, "Let's do this." And if you haven't found it yet, that's okay. There's no deadline for this kind of thing. Sometimes we discover it when we least expect it. But it starts with being curious. What makes you feel alive? What makes time slip away in the best possible way? What brings a smile that reaches your eyes? Keep leaning into that. Keep following the trail of joy, even if it's just breadcrumbs for now. Because when you're lit up from the inside, that glow reaches everything around you. You inspire people, not by trying to be perfect but by being real, honest, present. And speaking of inspiration, don't underestimate the impact you've already had on others. You may never know the full effect your presence has had. A kind word to a stranger, a steady hand to a friend, the way you raised your children, the way you showed up for your family, the way you pushed through things you never thought you could survive. Those moments matter. They still matter. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that. Especially in a world that moves quickly and doesn't always value age as it should. But here's the truth. The wisdom you hold can't be Googled. The perspective you bring can't be taught in school. You are a living archive of strength, resilience, experience, and that is priceless. And when you live in alignment with that, when you accept and appreciate yourself as you are, that's when confidence becomes effortless. You walk into a room not needing to prove anything, just knowing that you belong. You speak your truth without fear. You set boundaries that protect your peace. You laugh more freely. You rest more deeply. You live more fully. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about knowing you can handle the ups and downs. It's about trusting yourself to navigate the unknown because, well, you've already come through so much. You are wiser now, softer in some ways, stronger in others, and all of that adds up to something beautiful. Graceful aging isn't about holding on to the past. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you and embracing what does. It's about shedding the pressure to be who you used to be, and instead allowing yourself to become who you truly are, right here, right now. And just in case no one has told you today, you're doing a wonderful job. No, really. Even on the days when you feel tired or unsure or a little forgetful. Even when you look in the mirror and wonder where the time has gone. You're still here. Still showing up. Still learning, growing, feeling, trying. That's enough. More than enough. So be proud of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And keep showing up with that quiet courage that's carried you through every season of life. Because the truth is, aging gracefully and confidently isn't something that just happens. It's something you choose a little bit every single day, in how you think, how you speak to yourself, how you move through the world. And those choices, they add up. They shape your days, and your days shape your life. You're not just surviving. You're still living, still becoming, still becoming. And isn't that the most beautiful part of it all? That even after all these years, all the changes, all the losses, all the new beginnings, you're still unfolding. Like a flower that never stops blooming, season after season. Some days the petals are wide open. Other days they're curled up a little tighter. But the growth never stops. And that's the quiet miracle of aging. I know the world can sometimes make it feel like life starts to slow down after a certain age, like the spotlight moves on to someone younger. But let me tell you something from the heart. You are not in the background. You are still center stage in your own life. You're still the main character of your story, not a side note, not an afterthought, but the one who has earned every line, every scene, every round of applause. And you get to choose how this chapter goes. You can fill it with joy, rest, discovery, healing, connection, whatever your heart is craving. It's not too late to laugh a little louder, love a little deeper, or try something that makes your heart beat faster. Whether it's taking a class, making new friends, dancing in the kitchen, writing your memoirs, or learning to use that phone for more than just calls, there's life here, right now, in this moment. And it's yours to enjoy. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, but I've missed my chance, or I wish I had done more earlier, I want you to stop for a moment and take a breath. That kind of thinking is heavy and you don't need to carry it anymore. Regret doesn't get to write the ending. You do. You are allowed to forgive yourself. You are allowed to move forward. You are allowed to start again at 60, at 70, at 85, at 95. Aging gracefully isn't about being flawless. It's about being whole. And that includes the mistakes, the missteps, and the things you wish you could have done differently. But more importantly, it includes the love you've given, the laughter you've shared, the strength you've shown, and the wisdom you've gained. That's what people remember. That's what lingers long after the years pass by. And it's okay to need help along the way. Reaching out doesn't make you weak. It means you're brave enough to say, I'm still here. And I still matter. Whether it's asking your doctor about something that's been bothering you, joining a support group, or just calling a friend to talk, these are the threads that keep us connected, even in a world that can sometimes feel too busy to notice. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to feel proud of the life you've lived and excited about the life you're still living. So today, if nothing else, let this be a reminder. You are enough, just as you are. And you have something to offer. A story, a smile, a perspective, a truth that someone else needs to hear. Your presence matters more than you know. Your light might be guiding someone who's watching you quietly, learning how to walk through life with the same grace you carry. Whether it's your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, or even strangers who pass you by, you're leaving a legacy with every kind word, every generous gesture, every time you choose love over fear. And if you've ever thought that your best years were behind you, I want to gently challenge that. What if some of your most peaceful, joyful, connected, and meaningful moments are still ahead? What if aging isn't the end of the story but the beginning of a new kind of freedom? The kind where you get to show up exactly as you are, say what you mean, take your time, and surround yourself with what really matters. Less stress, more presence, less proving, more peace, less rush, more richness. That's what graceful aging is really about. It's not a race to stay young, it's a celebration of becoming fully, authentically you. It's about choosing confidence over comparison, wholeness over perfection, contentment over chasing. So take up space unapologetically. Sit in the sun a little longer. Laugh without holding back. Wear the clothes that make you feel good. Say what's on your heart. Cherish the ordinary moments. Dance even if it's just in your socks. And never let anyone, including your own inner critic, tell you that you are less valuable with time. You're not fading, you're refining. And that, my friend, is what makes you radiant. Thank you for spending this time with me. If something here touched your heart, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your story, your wisdom in the comments below, because someone out there might need exactly what you have to say. And if you found comfort or encouragement in this message, go ahead and tap that like button. Subscribe if you want more of these heartfelt reminders and simple truths for living well no matter your age. Remember, this is your time. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are right on time. Here's to living your best life, not despite your age but because of it. You are aging gracefully. You are aging confidently. And you are not alone. Now go out there and keep shining. You've earned it.